Welcome to your Chiron and Taurus horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs. I'm Everett Kearney, and in this episode of the Cosmic Sky podcast, I'm going to be giving you a 12 sign forecast for Chiron and Taurus. As I said before, I'm just repeating myself. And Chiron and Taurus is really about the wound about, are you worthy to experience physical pleasures, having your basic needs met? Are you worthy? Having self-worth that is beside all these physical things, beside all these possessions, that they don't define your sense of self-worth, that self-worth is feeling good about yourself without the things. We're looking at inner wealth versus material wealth. We're looking at wounds around money and security and developing something stable. So that's what Taurus, Chiron is. Before I even get into it, a couple little things. I did post an episode in this podcast. It was a video that I did back in February, where I did a presentation for basically why are Colette Baron Reed's Oracle decks unique, and Colette Baron Reed is a spiritual teacher, Oracle card deck creator. She is sort of a spiritual business person. She's a creator of Oracle School. She's a thought leader. So I did that. And I just thought, well, there's not really another way that I could do this video, since it was I think it was very, very good in my opinion. And I put it out on my channel, and I decided, well, I'll just throw it into my podcast. Even if it's not an audio video, I just decided to do that, because I was going to do a podcast episode, but it just felt right to make it video. And put it in there. So that's the very first thing that I did, so you can go check that out in this podcast. And then, and this is, I'm going to take all the time in the world to do this. I have something happening at 11 this morning, but whenever I get to it. And the very person that I'm going to be meeting will be absolutely the most understanding over this. So, anyway, I was watching a video last night on Chiron and Taurus. And I have to say, wow. This astrologer was harping on how terrible this transit would be. Oh, there's going to be all this environmental disaster. There's going to be all this stuff happening. The economy is going to fail, and all this fear-based stuff that these astrologers talk about. Really, I think that this astrologer should get a gold star and an award for making people scared out of their wits and minds about a transit. That is fear-based astrology if I ever seen it. Now, I want to be positive. I don't want to do the fear-based astrology. I want to be invitations, to consider how you can grow through and evolve through all these transits that come about. I will throw in things, but I don't want to fixate on them. And I want to make you feel calm, grounded, curious, interested, and I want you to be empowered and uplifted through these astrology videos that I give you. I don't want you to be afraid of the transits. So this astrologer was going through all these past times of Chiron and Taurus and all these disasters that happened. The Dust Bowl, the oil, whatever. And, really, really, really spitting, like, an encyclopedia. She was an encyclopedia of listing on all of these facts of all these negative things that have happened. And I'm like, you may know the facts and you may know a lot of those kind of things, But what about the spiritual insight? What about personalizing it? What about making it align with your beliefs? That, oh, maybe you don't believe in scaring people. Maybe you don't believe in making it fear-based stuff. Making it fear-based. And so I just do not want to watch and participate in that kind of astrology. This astrologer is a fear-based astrologer, also a medical astrologer, which I really, really think that is her niche, but also her niche would be fear-based, because she's very, very good at making it fear-based. And it's like it scared me. What came out of her mouth scared me, because I am terrified for 2028 and through 2030, because I'm afraid there's going to be this major mega natural disaster in the summer of 2028, because Chiron and Taurus is square Pluto in Aquarius, and so she described that, talked about it, discussed it very, very negatively. And I'm like, what is the positive about this? Well, the positive is we're looking at things that we haven't looked at before. We're transforming, we're healing, we're doing all this. We are looking at the wounds. We're going through the process of transformation. And yes, it can be icky and messy and negative, but it will help us grow. I don't bypass the negatives. I am real with you about what's going on, what the aspects are, but I don't fixate on the negatives. I do not fixate on the negatives. I turn it around into something positive, into something more, better. Into something better. So I just think that with this fear-based information, you really, really cannot give into all this stuff. I mean, you really, really have to be on an eagle's perch and ask yourself, is this making me feel a sense of peace and a sense of groundedness and a sense of positive upliftment and joy and hope and optimism and just feeling grounded within myself through hearing this information? Or is this getting into my psychology, making me so scared and feel like, oh, the world's gonna end? I mean, if you go hear that video, you're gonna be like, I just want to crawl into you might as well just crawl into a hole. My goodness. Wow. You really cannot give into the fear-based astrology around this transit, because the astrologers say, I've heard a couple of videos, oh, there's going to be the economy, it's not going to work, oh, there's going to be this, oh, there's going to be that. Guilty as charged. I do mention some of those things, but I don't fixate on them. I get into the things around that. I don't want to, I don't want to hold back what I want to say, but I'm not one to just fixate and just with the intention of wanting to scare everybody about it. It's just, I do not, believe and, agree with, fear-based astrology. And I don't want to be a participant in fear-based astrology. And I sure as heck hope that my video that I did the other day on the collective version of Chiron and Taurus is not fear-based astrology. With what I said in that video. And I will do whatever feels right, and I think what feels right is to not give in to, not participate in that. Not participate in what is fear-based. What is, giving into the fear, feeding the fear. Don't feed what you don't want. Choose a state of being with this fear-based information that is peaceful, that is calm, that is grounded, that is loving. And don't give in to astrologers like the one that I was seeing last night, who harp on all these negative things and get you all scared and get you all worried about, oh, the world's doomed, this transit's going to be terrible, da-da-da-da-da. No. No. So that's what I want to say about that. So now delving into your 12 sign forecast. I'm going to be getting into, delving into, the signs, first of all. I'm going to be delving into all 12 signs, really. And you want to follow along for your moon and rising sign, as well as your sun sign. First of all, your rising sign is most predominant, your sun is secondary, and then your moon is, third to that. As a more emotional, intuitive component to it. So let's delve into Aries, first of all. So the question with Aries that I want you to really, really consider. Do you truly feel worthy when it comes to getting what you want, Aries? Do you truly feel like you can have what you want? That you can enjoy all these simple pleasures? That you can have all these wonderful, nice things? Do you truly feel the space to have these things? Do you truly feel like it's in your best interest to have all of these things? Have other people told you that you can't get what you want? That you cannot have that nice car, or that nice material thing, or that nice whatever that's aligned with your soul, that's what you want? Getting out of the ego, responsibilities, duties, obligations, drop into the soul. Okay. So, do you feel truly worthy when it comes to getting what you want? Or have other people kept you from that? Have other people kept you from having what you want and getting what you truly want, your heart's desire? Do you feel secure in yourself about getting what you want and, getting it? Do you feel secure about having this thing? Do you feel secure about owning this thing? Being able to have this thing in your possession? Do you feel secure about what you have inside yourself? Do you feel that you're giving yourself the permission, the validation, and the worthiness to have all this? Or do you feel like others are keeping you from having this thing that you want? That's the very, very first thing to think about. And then the next thing is about slowing everything down. The Aries is a quick sign. It wants to do things very, very quickly. It wants to go very, very quickly, into things. Wants to, speed everything up. It wants to work really, really hard and go. Aries wants to go at life as at a very, very fast pace. And so, this is the nature of Aries in general. So it's going at everything very, very fast. And, where are you where are you going at everything really, really too fast and rushing everything and going all into like burning through something and charging into something in a way that's really, really just fast and impulsive and like, I'm just going in full force, I'm just putting in all my energy. This transit is saying to slow everything down. Slow everything down instead of speeding up. And ground into your body. Ground into your body. Ground into the here and now. Ground into your physical vessel. Because grounding into your physical vessel can really, really help you and support you when it comes to slowing yourself down. It really will help you to slow down what you are doing and slow down the direction that you're going when it comes to getting in your body, really. And then how can you use mindfulness as a key? And I'm going to look up mindfulness. Being present. How can you stop focusing on what's forward, what you want, the next goal that you're achieving? What you want, how you're going to take steps toward the future and focus on the present moment. Not trying to change it or complain about it or be in a very, very negative state about it and sort of throw a whole fit over on the present moment and how it is, but can you accept with it and just see the positive side of it, Aries? And can you be intentional in the present moment, not just react? Aries has a tendency to just react with a very, very temperamental quality, because there is a very, very temperamental sign. So it can act in that kind of way that is really, really just having a temper, having all this kind of stuff. So, and then the final thing is don't look for others to see how, courageous and strong you are. Know that you are already courageous and strong within yourself, as you are, Aries. You are courageous and strong as you are. Can you validate that within yourself? Can you validate how courageous you are and how strong that you truly are within yourself? That's really the key challenge for you in this fight. So it's about not looking outside of yourself to be in this state of courage and strength, but knowing that you are a strong, sovereign individual, because Aries wants others to see it. Aries wants others to see its worth and how assertive it can be and how individual it can be. Aries wants to prove how strong that they are and that need to prove yourself. Surrender the need to prove yourself. Instead, love yourself and know that you don't need to prove yourself. And when you're connected to your soul, you don't need to prove yourself. It's the ego that wants to prove itself. The soul knows that you are enough. You are courageous and strong enough. You don't need to show anyone else. You don't need an external validation. You can validate that within yourself, that you are that individual. So, moving on to Taurus now. Don't base your entire worth, Taurus, on material possessions. Don't hoard these material possessions. Don't hold in these material possessions, because Taurus has a tendency to hoard these things like it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Because Taurus feels like it's the Taurus shadow. There's this preciousness and there's a scarcity of resources. Like you can't enjoy these resources enough. You can't be present with these resources. Because they're sort of taking away your sort of state of inner peace with yourself. So, because you're acquiring them so much of the time. So don't base your entire worth on your material possessions, Taurus. Don't base it entirely on the physical, tangible things in your life, and instead, go inside yourself. Go into yourself, Taurus. And look at what is going on internally. Look at what is going on, inside of yourself, so you can really live from that place really, really strongly. And, and that is what truly matters. Material possessions, the things in the physical, tangible world, the things that you earn, the things that you get, don't truly matter. What truly matters is your inner state of being. Your inner sense of peace, your inner sense of groundedness, your inner sense of self about yourself that is peaceful and good in that state of being. So, look at your attitude towards material possessions. Do you define yourself through these things? Do you define your life and how worthy you are by these material possessions? But because I have this nice car, I am worthy. Because I have this best phone, that I am worthy. Because I have all this money and all these things, that I am worthy. Or is it more of an internal game? Is it more about self-worth, self-validation? Now, looking outside yourself, because Taurus knows how to validate itself. And this is a self-worth situation. Chiron and Taurus is a self-worth situation. Because Scorpio, the opposite sign of Taurus, looks for the worth outside of itself. Needs others to validate itself. Taurus doesn't. It looks at itself for its own sense of validation. So have you been too busy providing for others? Providing for their well-being? Bringing home the bacon? Bringing home the food and money or whatever? We really need to stop providing and stop working so hard to climb up a certain mountain and drop into stillness. Drop into stillness. Just drop into stillness. Connect with your body. Chiron and Taurus is about stillness. An astrologer that I was watching defined Chiron and Taurus, and another astrologer, not the one that I started this video with, the fear-based one, the one who is definitely quite the opposite of fear-based in all the positive ways. She defined Chiron and Taurus as having being still, present in your body. So how can you be still and connect? Connecting with your body. How can you really keep that keep that in mind? Is I'm in my head right now thinking about fear-based astrology and how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll do a podcast on fear-based astrology one day, because that video really put that in my list of videos that I want to do. So can you drop into calm? Connect to the body, connect to your earth, connect to your physical vessel, nurture your body, take care of your body, take care of feeding it and nourishing it, and do all this kind of thing. And then know, Taurus, that the simple pleasures are for your taking. This is a time to enjoy the nice food, the people in your life, nature, clothes, your house, your home. The simple things that money can buy, simple entertainment, all those simple pleasures, where you're meant to enjoy these things. You're meant to go slow in life. You're meant to take your time and enjoy these things and enjoy life. This Taurus is really about the finer things in life and making the most out of life and enjoying it for its sake. So, moving on to Gemini now. Here's the thing with Gemini. So in its head, it thinks all these thoughts, it really, easily. It thinks all these things, thinks all these thoughts that goes through its head. goes through its head, all these little thoughts, they're sort of not structured, not with a whole lot of purpose and meaning, but they're sort of random thoughts that come into your head at times. And so you can really, really be in your head, Gemini. And, instead of being so caught up in your head, in the mental chatter, what's going on, inside your mind, inside what's going on up there in your noggin, so to speak, with all the thoughts that run through, because Gemini is, thinking of the little phrase in the book that you read, or what this person said, or, whatever it comes down to being. Can you drop into your body? Can you drop into, stillness and calm and peace inside of yourself with grounding? Grounding, grounding inside your body, grounding inside your real self, grounding inside your earthly realm, into your temple. Your body is your temple. Love your body. Nourish the body. Focus on working with the body and not against the body. And drop into your soul. What do you truly want on a soul level? And do you feel worthy of having what you want on a soul level? Do you feel worthy of having all these great things on a soul level? Or is there this dialogue that you can't have it? That it's out of the question, you're not worthy of it. So self-worth is a really, really big focus during Chiron and Taurus. And instead of seeking, new experiences all the time, because Gemini is very, very spontaneous. It looks for, for going to this place, or going to this bookstore, or going to this place in town, or meeting up with this person, doing all these things and stimulating itself and going all these different directions. Like Gemini goes in all these different directions. It goes in multiple directions all at once. It has a tendency to go in multiple directions. It has a tendency to spread itself out in that kind of way. So, instead of seeking new experiences, all the time with what you want to take on, focus on where you are right here and right now. Focus on where you are right here and right now. Focus on the present moment. Focus on, the senses, what you can enjoy with your five senses, what you see, what you taste, what you hear, what you touch, what you smell. And being present with that. And how can you become more grounded and practical? Because Taurus is a really, really grounded sign, very, very grounded to the earth. Knows its responsibilities, knows what it has to get done on a 3D level. Knows how to live and work its magic in the material world, taking care of itself and building life and stability up for itself, and very, very responsible for that. So you use the Taurus grounded energy to show self-sufficiency. Showing that you can be self-reliant and do things more independently, being more independent when it comes to providing for yourself and also your loved ones. Can you ground? Because Gemini is a spontaneity to be sort of in the head, not grounded with ideas and thoughts and all this kind of thing. So can you ground into your body? And then can you focus on nourishing your body and building a sustainable life for yourself? And that's really, really how you can thrive during this time. And so Cancer, moving on to Cancer. Now with Cancer, the question comes down to, do you feel, do you feel unworthy about your body, Cancer? Do you feel this great sense of unworthiness about yourself and who you are? Do you feel unworthy about how good your body is, how thin it is, how well put together it is? I mean, all those kind of things like that. So you can be in a state of emotional turmoil about your body, how wrong it is and how bad it is, and all these kind of things like that. So that's what it can come down to. You can really be feeling very negatively about your body. Just maybe you're overweight, or maybe you're underweight, or just shaming your body, or just wanting to fix and change your body, as I discussed in that collective video. So feeling good about your body, feeling good in your own skin. And what is your soul saying to you over these next 7 years? Think about, what is your soul 7 to 8 years that Chiron is in Taurus. What is your soul whispering to you? I need this. I want that. I should have that. All these kind of things like that. And what makes you feel emotionally nourished? What brings you that sense of nourishment, within yourself, to have it be what it is. And, what brings you a sense of nourishment, Cancer? What nourishes your body? What nourishes and what feeds your soul? Nice food, family, connections, tending to your emotional needs, journaling, reading a nice book that gets you into your imagination and brings you a sense of fun and adventure, well-being in your home. I mean, what is it? I think that Cancer can really enjoy books and reading because it can do it in the comfort of its own home and escape into its imagination without, going anywhere and putting yourself in danger. I think that Cancer and fiction books really go hand in hand with that kind of thing. So, what brings you that sense of nourishment? And then when it comes down to nourishment, what is your relationship with food? Cancer is a sign that can really give itself a lot of comfort with a lot of these things. And at worst, it can turn to food as a tool to numb out the pain that it's feeling. To turn to food and just eat it, that can cover up, and you're like, I shouldn't be eating this, I shouldn't be eating this. And then the more you say that, the more food you feed yourself. The more you say that, the more you feed yourself with that food. And so it's about not turning to food as something like that, not as something that can numb the pain that you're feeling on an emotional level, like numbing that emotional pain, but as something that can bring you nourishment. It really make you feel calm, grounded, at peace. That can nourish your body, that can feed your body and your soul, that can give you nutrients, that can bring you energy and fuel and comfort. Not as a tool to numb out your pain, not as a crutch and a band-aid over your emotions without feeling them, going through them, facing them, talking about them, journaling them, really moving through those emotions. Like food is a tool to escape going through and feeling your emotions will not work out for you very, very well during this transit. And in general, really. These horoscopes can be for the transit, or they can be in general. The great thing about these transits is that you can watch these videos even after the transit's done. You can be like, I find value out of this because of how I do these videos. So, can you be present with food? Are you present with food? Or are you eating it in a mindful way? Taking your time and enjoying it, immersing yourself in the experience of eating, enjoying the pleasure, milking that pleasure, really savoring the experience of eating that food? Or are you, numbing yourself out with it and using it as a way to avoid feeling the feelings? That's what that's what needs to be considered over this period, is your relationship with food. And so then, Leo, how can you surrender, how can you, surrender your materialistic needs, your, how can you surrender your material needs, Leo? Because Leo is very, very materialistic. It has a lot of strong material needs with what it wants to do, what it wants to experience, what it wants to buy, because it sees all these nice things in the store and it sees all these things that attract you because, oh, they look good. Or, oh, they have a nice quality or whatever. If there could be downturns in the economy during this time, if that should ever be a possibility, I'm just saying especially, focusing on what's sustainable for you, what you truly value, and how you truly want to spend your money. Where it's about not feeling in the ego mindset of ungratitude and being spoiled with wanting all these material things, wanting this, wanting that, not feeling happy with where you are right now, not feeling present, not feeling grateful, not feeling content with what you have right now and right here, because you have so many things, Leo. You may think that you're in a scarcity mindset, but you have so much. If it's not material things, that's in a reserve. You have so much, it's like you can have very little and still feel incredibly wealthy. Your inner wealth is not based on material wealth. They can be tied together, but they can also be separate things. You can have very, very little. You can have what you have and still feel incredibly abundant, incredibly blessed and wealthy, and still live very, very rich lives. Like, I know that in my life, my plan is not to travel abroad and do all those kind of things because it's severely expensive, and I don't want to even do it once because I'm going to want to do it again and again and again. I choose to live a rich life at home. And yes, I will be materialistic in a sense, but the experiences that I have will be free experiences. I just don't want to travel because it's just too much money to spend, and I don't want to make myself unhappy when it comes to traveling. And I want to live a simple, soul-centered life and not a rich, traveling life where I'm just, basing around the ego, traveling to different places, doing all this. So that's my plan. So we're going to focus on the simple things. Focusing on the simple things, focusing on what you already have. And really, really being mindful, Leo, of how you are spending your money. How are you spending your money? Is it in a selfish way? to hurt others, to destroy others. Compassion and prosperity. How am I using my money? How am I going out and achieving things? And is it impacting others? Is it compassionate? Is it from a loving, self-centered place? Or is it from, I want to dominate. I want to be the best. I want to be better than everyone else. Like, is it from that place, Leo? Or are you buying things with that intention, with that mindset, where it destroys others with you spending your money on things? Where it hurts others with you spending your money on things and not doing what truly feels right for you. So, can you spend it in a very, very kind and fair way? Because, I mean, let's make money fair. I know how unfair the world is, but let's do all we can to make money a fair deal. I want to be flowing. I want to be fair with most others. I have a Libra moon. I want fairness and equality. So I want to spend my money and live my material life in a way that's fair to others, in my life. So then, really thinking about not doing it in a destructive way. Then, were you so obsessed with your material resources, Leo? You were stubbornly holding on to this material resources. Leo is a fixed sign that really holds on to things, holds on to what it wants, its desires, the life that it wants to live, the very sort of at worst selfish life that it wants to live, with all the glitz and the glam and the flashy qualities of Leo. And where are you stubbornly holding on to these material possessions because you were drawn to them, because, and they feel like they're holding you back, with these things, and you're defining your entire worth based off of the material possessions, as I talked to Taurus about. So where are you holding on and not letting things go? Not sharing these resources. Not thinking of the greater good of humanity, of the collective, of others when it comes to these resources. Instead, keeping it all for yourself. Being really stubborn and having a fixed will to these resources. So where do you need to instead let go of these resources? Let go of whatever resources that there is an egoic charge of these resources that inside of yourself, if you drop in, it is not right to have this resource. Because I got it through something wrong. I cheated my way through it. I destroyed others on my way through it. And drop into your intuition. Drop in and ask yourself, does this really feel right to have these resources? Does this really feel compassionate to myself and others? Because compassion is a two-way street. Am I really being compassionate with myself and others when it comes to having these resources? Or is there just an off vibe that I got this resources through negative, and that it was wrong to acquire this resource? It was wrong to acquire this material possession, like stealing something, for instance. Stealing a material resource instead of working up to have the money to buy it, or whatever. Because we shouldn't steal. Nobody should steal. It is wrong to steal. And I don't want to assume anything, but if you've stolen anything, or any resource that you've gotten where there's just a negative vibration to this resource, where you feel a very negative vibration, like an off feeling toward this resource, then let it go and save yourself, and don't deny your true feelings about this resource. Don't like, oh, I'm going to push through this, and I'm going to be so tough and strong, and I'm going to, and darn it, this feels right, no, that's contracted, that's ego. If you drop in, be honest with yourself. Like, your soul is honest. It is an honest place inside of you. With like, okay, this doesn't feel right to have this resource. So I'm going to choose to let it go and do what is the right thing to do. For myself and for others, both and. So that is Leo. Now, Virgo. What truly grounds you, Virgo? What grounds you? What nourishes you? Dropping back into the body. Connecting to the body, connecting to the earth. What keeps your feet on the ground? What keeps you grounded? What keeps you grounded? With what you're doing. Keeps you, practical. What keeps you rooted. What keeps you in a calm, stable, sovereign, peaceful place. What really, really keeps you and, puts you in that situation. Puts you in that place, Virgo. Really, really tap into, what really puts you there. Really, really makes you feel that kind of a sense. And, is your job sustainable for the long term? That's what I want to ask you. Is your job, is there stability with this job? Or is the job situation lacking stability, lacking grounding, lacking earthing? Where your hours will be cut soon, or there's not enough pay for this kind of thing. Is this life that I am building right now, is this life that I'm living sustainable for me for the long term? Is this really going to work out for me long term? That's really something to think about. And are you in service roles that lack stability? That leave you feeling stable? You have to just constantly serve and burn yourself. Where do you feel burnt out, Virgo? Burnt out. Like you're giving all these material resources and all this time and this energy and this, whatever, to this role. And it's leaving me feeling empty and drained and not nourished within myself. I have to carry the plates on my hand and carry the bags on my hand and throw them all in and gift them and give them all over. Where is this role of service keeping you from grounding into your own body, grounding into your own soul, Virgo? That's really the thing to think about. And then, you're prone to really looking at the negative things, being in judgment, seeing the flaws of things, seeing what's wrong with things, seeing what could be improved, yes, but really, really getting caught in the negative self-talk of like, oh, this thing is so wrong, so flawed, so, messed up or whatever, and not good enough. And it's bad. It's all ruined. It's all this. It's all that. Can you focus on what is going well in your own life, Virgo? Your own life. What's positive, what's stable, what's secure within yourself and your own life, and build that life of stability. Because if the economy doesn't function well and we have no control over the outside world, we cannot control the outside world. So if the economy shouldn't do the best during this time, how can you then be calm and grounded in the storm, be the stable force in the storm, and remain positive and feeling good about your life with whatever situation that you may be in, and hopeful, because everything is only temporary. Everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. Everything will change. So if it's very, very negative, if the economy should be very, very, negative, and and prices go up high, and there's not enough resources or whatever goes on with the economy, then it will get better soon. It will get better soon. It will become more positive. It will become more in a better state, in a better place. So how can you remain feeling good about your own life and not be so much in the negative of what goes on in the world? So now, Libra. Now, Libra and self-worth really, really huge. Libra is the sister sign to Taurus, because Libra is also ruled by Venus. Taurus is more the self-worth, stability, the calm, stable side of Venus. And Libra is more the relational side, the relationship side of it. So, where are you denying yourself the nice things in your life because you feel like you can't have them? You feel like you can't have that fancy car, or that, that book, or that house, or that kitchen, or that tool, or that computer, or that shower, or that, or have the money to go to this nice restaurant or whatever. That you can't enjoy the nice things in your life. Feeling, unworthy of yourself, if you can't enjoy the nice things. You can't spend your money on what you want, Even if you, with this transit, even if you do feel very, very wealthy, and everything is taken care of financially, there is this still feeling of like, I can't do this. I can't have this. I shouldn't do this. Because what if others can experience this? And there's this feeling with Chiron and Taurus that, that you can't have, what you can have. You're not worthy of experiencing it. So really looking at that is huge. Where you're not denying yourself these nice things. And allowing yourself to fully immerse yourself in them and have them. And then the next thing is, what do you truly value? Focusing on your own values. Getting in touch with your own values, with your own life. Because every single sign has values, because we're all human. But what do you truly value, Libra? Inside yourself. Where have you been compromising yourself in what you want and what you need on a soul level, just for others' happiness, just for others' sake of contentment and happiness and peace, internal peace, and not your own sense of well-being. Not your own well-being about yourself. So doing all these things for others and taking care of others and making others happy and attending to what others value and not what you value. You are the most important thing in your life. You are the most important person in your life. It's your life. Live the life that you deserve to live, because you don't deserve to live the life that you want to live. And do what you want to do in your life and be true to your own values. And if you're not knowing what your values in this transit, may ask you to dig up the wounds around. And with you, the wounds are based around my values and how they interfere with relationship. Not in touch with my own values enough because I'm so focused on the other relationships. So for Libra, it's a relationship-oriented sign, and their values are entirely based around serving others and being kind to others and all that. Now, the conversation is shifting. We can focus on your own sense of self. And so putting yourself first is really, really sort of the focus during this time. With putting yourself first, and and really, really being kind to yourself, and that sense of the word, with being true to yourself in that sense. So, where can you put yourself first? Where can you put your own needs and wants first? Putting what you want first. That's very, very, very important. So putting your own self first, not sacrificing yourself for others, basically. And there's this other thing here. With feeling badly about your relationship. Feeling very bad about your relationship, which causes you to lose sight of your own sense of self-worth. Feeling like being in this relationship situation where you need to please, we need to attend to others, we need to serve others and make others happy. Because Libra feels this duty and obligation that, okay, I must create harmony in my relationship by sacrificing myself and always being so kind and smiley and nicey, and giving others what they want all the time to avoid peace and conflict, because I'm afraid that they're not going to like me and they're going to be mean to me, and I'm afraid that they're not going to like me if I should, God forbid, be truthful, that I can't do this, and just saying no. Like, there's this insecurity around the word no with Libra. Security around the frequency. Like, what is it about that word no that really, really holds you back? Like, no, I can't do this. No, I'm not going to give you this. So being very, very comfortable with just no, and knowing that no is a full sentence. So, okay. So, yeah. So being in a sense of self-worth about yourself, where you're not feeling badly about your relationship, but you being in the energy of self-worth. With this transit going on here very, very well, feeling like you don't have to please, and then it may be very, very difficult with this relationship where you have to please and attend to all these things. So it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the more you can focus on your values and nurturing your own sense of self-worth at this time, the better off you will be, the better off you will thrive during this transit. Now moving on to Scorpio. Now with Scorpio, the real key here is to stop being so intensely focused on getting somewhere, on getting into that video game and pressing all of these buttons to make something happen to get you what you want in that video game, or that, wherever, to sneak into the laboratory and get into the computer system and hack the computer system and do all these things, like taking risks and going underground on the undercurrent, and putting yourself at risk situations where you're just so concerned with getting down to the dirt of things and getting something resolved, and being very, very like a detective, where you are putting yourself at risk. So stop being overly focused on getting somewhere and choose to connect to your values, your body, the here and now. Choose to connect to right here and right now. What's going on right here and right now in this very room, in this very situation, with all the food that you can enjoy, with what you're seeing around you, with the room that you're in. Like, I'm sitting at my desk doing this. I see my desk. I see my my wall, my calendar that I need to change. I haven't changed it yet. It's still on April. I haven't switched it up yet. It's behind by 2 months. So yeah, connecting to the here and now, and so it's slowing down and enjoying the deliciousness of life. It's really what this is all about. Enjoying all the pleasures of life. Because I think that Scorpio can eat in ways that are very, very intense. Like, can really, really eat and just be so, like, it's like nose diving, eyes focused on the food, and just eating, taking it in, and going all in because Scorpio can really, really go all in with food specifically, and preferably maybe spicy food or food with a lot of bold flavors to it or whatever, which isn't a bad thing. You can eat whatever you want to eat. You can prepare whatever you want to prepare. You can order whatever you want to order from whatever restaurant you want to go to. However, can you get out of that rush pace of just eating it and instead do it mindfully? Eat mindfully. Enjoy the food mindfully. Slow down, take your time. Eat it one bite at a time. And then finally, can you create peace for your family? Scorpio is a sign that's actually very, very, focused on and very, very, really cares about and loves its family very deeply on an emotional level. So, can you create the peace, the calm, and the the sort of stability that you need for your family, that they need from you? Can you tend to those who are the closest to you? Being very, very loyal to the core, because Scorpio is loyal to the core. I'll be loyal to the core. Being very, very, loyal towards them. Focusing your energy on those in your life that are the closest to you. Spending time with them. Giving them emotional nourishment. Being there for them in their darkest hour. Because Scorpio really is a beautiful sign. It can be there for people in their darkest hours. When they're going through the roughest dark night of the soul, when they're going through very, very rough times, it can be there to hold their hand and walk with them through the thunder and the storm, and guide them and be a light, because it is very, very familiar with the dark sides of humanity. It has a lot of compassion for those who go through very, very dark experiences in their lives. Which is a beautiful quality of Scorpio. And Chiron, as I said, discussed in another video, is about healing, helping to heal others, having compassion for others, and maybe you have wounds that you yourself didn't heal. You yourself, those wounds are not resolved within yourself, and then you are, as you are healing your own wounds, as you're all working on your own healing process, you're also, helping others with their own, stuff. So can you tend to those people in your life that are the closest to you and be there for them emotionally, physically, and whatever? So Sagittarius, now we're looking at Sagittarius. So don't look to the adventure, to going out into the world, to exploring out into the world, to find how wise you are, to find how smart you are, to find how experience you are, because Sagittarius is about wisdom. Gemini is about the little facts and facets of life, all the little details and trivias and details and bits of data. And Sagittarius is like, well, what is the truth in this? What is the deeper meaning in this? What is the point of all this information? So knowledge plus experience equals wisdom, and Sagittarius is the wisdom piece of this puzzle. So, it's about looking at the wisdom, already inside of us. Looking at what's going on, already, inside of us. Instead of looking out there for, the adventure or the travel or people to define our wisdom. Not looking for everyone else's wisdom and words of wisdom, what they have to say to make us wise, but tuning into your own inner wisdom, looking at what's already inside of you. Not looking to the external, but coming back in to tapping to your intuition and see, okay, this is the wisdom that I have gained from these experiences. This is what has my unique story to, unique take on. This is what has uniquely made me very, very wise and full of knowledge and bright and philosophical hope and, edutaining, so to speak. And so, with going in with yourself about this wisdom, can you release this tendency of traveling from place to place? Traveling to, this place and that place and all these different kind of places. Because Sagittarius sort of travels to all these different places. It travels to, Shangri-La and China, and it wants to learn foreign languages, it wants to do all these things. So it can release the tendency to always look to the philosophical quest, out there. Instead, settle down and focus on what place you're in right now and what place you want to be that is sustainable, that brings you a sense of peace and stability, that is sustainable for you. Being in that place that you can rely on. Maybe looking up locational astrology or astrocartography to say what place I should live in or go to, and is it aligned with my chart? Like, there's astrocartography that you can look into. So what place has all the right factors there? What place has all the right sustainable, calm, grounded, and loving factors for myself, where I can settle down in this one place. I can stop traveling, but settle down, focus on the here and now. So then Capricorn. So then, with Capricorn, the real focus of this 8-year period between 2026 and 2034 with Chiron in Taurus is to just, how are you defining your own sense of security and self-worth, Capricorn? How are you defining it? What association are you forming to all these different things? Are you basing it on your on how much money you have in the bank? Are you basing it on your goals, what you achieve, the business that you have, the teaching career that you have, the whatever profession and whatever your career is? Are you basing your self-worth and security on career, or are you coming to the understanding that self-worth is not based on any of that stuff? It's separate from all that stuff. Self-worth is inherent. It is intrinsic. That is just you feeling loving and accepting of yourself and feeling good about yourself, regardless of all the money, of all the goals, of all the achievements. You can come back into yourself and turn into what's true for you inside of yourself. That's we can really, really thrive with this energy in this transit is basing self-worth off of something, independent of what you can achieve out in the external world. So then the next thing is, how can you build solid foundations? How can you build the solid foundations of what you want in your life in terms of bodily foundations, nourishing your body, taking care of your body, where you're looking at inner security and inner peace. Inner peace and inner security, says the person during the Taurus North Node transit that happened back in 2022 and 23. Having solid foundations, building solid foundations up for yourself, where you can be in the energy of inner security, being in living from a place of inner security that comes from taking care of your body, instead of working all the time, instead of chasing after the goal. Take care of your body are the foundations that I am building upon in my life, like my home and my, and all these things. Are my emotional, physical foundations sustainable? Am I building from solid ground? Am I building from solid material? And maybe you can connect to your body and grounding in your body, grounding into the earth. Stop chasing down the next goal, next thing that you want, the next whatever, and ground into the present moment. So then, Aquarius, no. So Aquarius is sort of, when I think of Aquarius, the 80s, the 90s, the TV shows at the time, how they define astrology, Michael Jackson sort of pop culture type things in that period, very, very nostalgic time period. Do you feel weird, like your body is misshapen? Like your body is abnormal? Like your body is not the way that it usually is? Can you feel good about yourself, Aquarius? Can you feel good about yourself without feeling like the odd one out? Can you feel good about yourself without feeling like you're the imposter or the one that is weird? Your body and your life and your physical, you're like feeling good about your physical appearance, your body, that sort of aspect of your life, your first house, which is your physical appearance and all that. Like, can you feel good about that first house area of life, that kind of thing? With the things correlated to the first house, can you feel good about yourself without feeling like oh, I'm oh, I don't belong to everyone else. No one gets me. No one understands me. And, whatever. So feeling good about yourself in that sense of the word. And then you're turning inward to your own body. Going inside of yourself. Looking at your own life. Your own physical life. Your own tangible life. Looking at emotional nourishment. Processes of self-love. Instead of focusing on out there, that next cause, that next person you want to interact with, that next friend, the next, whatever. Can you focus on nourishing yourself, taking care of yourself with the process of self-love that you can truly give yourself? Loving yourself, loving your body for what it is, and loving aspect of your being, every aspect of your being, where you don't have to fit in with everyone else. It's okay to be unique and stand out from everyone else. And you're meant to stand out. You are meant to not be like everyone else because you're not meant to follow. And you're meant to be totally unique from everyone else. Like, we are all unique. Normal is a setting on the dryer. Nobody is normal. So maybe this wound around being normal and fitting in when it comes to feeling worthy with yourself is going to be really looked at during this 7 to 8 year period. For you, Aquarius, it is really about, the wound of self-love when it comes to accepting your uniqueness and embracing your unique qualities. So then the final thing is to make comfortable surroundings for those out in the world, to make comfortable surroundings, to give to others, be very, very, very generous and open with your energy, to give to those in your personal life, to give and make others comfortable in your life because you want to, you wish to come from a soul-centered place, like you want to serve that charity, or you want to help out that friend with this thing, or you want to reach across the aisle and do all this. You want to, help your family and help those in your life with all these kind of things. Serving others and giving to others because you want to, not that you need to, and you only feel worthy if you are efficient enough, and if you are useful enough, and if you work hard enough. That is not where you're defining your worth. Instead, serve others because you want to, because you are a humanitarian sign, because you have humanitarian values, you think of the greater good, all that kind of thing like that. So then Pisces, finally, focusing on what is positive in your life, Pisces. What is positive and abundant with yourself. Positive and abundant within your own life. What's full of richness, what's full of beauty, what's full of splendor. And stop focusing on how bad the world is, because Pisces can get really, really sucked into and absorbed into how terrible and how wrong the world is, with how the economy is working out, with all the wars in the world, with all the hate in the world, with all the negativity in the world. We really, really fixate on how bad the world is, how negative and how scary it is, and whatever. So it's about focusing on what is positive and abundant with your own life, what is full of richness, and stop worrying about the world and how terrible it is, because the world is going to do what it's going to do. It's going to be the way it's going to be. Focus on your own life and what is beautifully positive and uplifting, and and focusing on gratitude with what you already have. Don't take your focus off of the out there of all the negative events, and which state of being do you want to be in. Peace, love, joy, gratitude, bliss. I mean, whatever state of being, you get to choose your state of being and make your state of being your absolute top priority at this time, with focusing on not in the sort of victimhood state of how bad the world is. And I'm going to get to that later. Next point is really, how can you connect to the things that you want in your life, the things that you need in your life? How can you be really, really strong within yourself and show self-sufficiency in a gentle way? Showing self-sufficiency in in a calm, peacefully loving way, being very self-sufficient, being very, very much in the energy of taking care of yourself and taking care of your own life, and taking care of your own physical vessel. Taking care of your own physical vessel and nourishing it. Instead of relying on others to take care of it for you. Can you be strong? Can you build up the life for yourself? Can you take care of your health? The first thing is taking care of your health, taking care of your physical health, your mental health, your emotional well-being, and nourishing that. Nourishing your body in that way, to nourish your soul, to nourish your spirit. So can you be strong, and can you value yourself and love yourself enough with not just surrendering to the universe and thinking that the universe is going to do it for you, the universe is going to where you're going to be under a bridge and the universe is just going to come save you and take care of your life. No. You co-create with the universe. You flow with what feels right in the universe, but you also co-create. You also do your part to take care of your own life. So, I think the word is stewardship. And so, being a steward, stewarding that, spiritual relationship. And do you feel inadequate, Pisces? Do you feel like you're undeserving of things, of basic necessities, of food, clothing, of all these basic things that you need for yourself? We are caught up in victim mentality. That I have no power. I can't have this. I'm weak. I'm undeserving. Know how strong you are. Know how powerful you are, Pisces, because you are a powerful, being, infinite being, where Pisces is opening up to infinite possibilities. Like you are, there's infinite possibilities. Where you can be in the infinite possibilities of what you have to give and what you have to live with knowing that you are infinite, but yet you're also finite. You are very, very strong. We all have limitations and all that, but we're very, very strong. We're very, very powerful. We do have power, and we can love ourselves. And part of loving ourselves is knowing our own power, knowing our own truth, knowing how we can be an active participant in our lives and actually create our own reality with spirit. We can actually have control, and that we actually are worthy, with being individual, with knowing ourselves, with being grounded and rooted in ourselves, and giving yourself what you need on a physical level. Knowing that it starts with the basic things. You're worthy of these basic things, and you're also worthy, of this wounding. A victim mentality might come about during this 7 years, knowing that you are, worthy of giving yourself exactly what you need and what you really crave and what you really want in this life. And that's really the truth of it, is that you are worthy, Pisces. So anyway, that is all I have for all 12 signs. I hope that you enjoyed your reading and got something out of it. And I'm going to stop this recording and put this through my editing software and put this recording together, put this video together. Hopefully I can get it done before I go to work today. And if I don't get to the timestamps right away, then I will get to them later whenever I have a moment to get to them. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about a non-current astrological topic. I'm going to be discussing Mars in the sign of, I want to discuss Mars in Pisces and the natal birth chart, and then Mars in Aquarius. I want to talk about those two placements. And then get into some more general content on this channel with what I have on my list to get to. Okay. So sun. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to get to some more general content that's starting on the 19th of June, the day that Chiron enters Taurus. I'm going to get back to some more current astrological topic with getting us to some more astrology, what's going on at the end of this month. in June. So thank you for watching. Like this video, do all the things. I really appreciate that, and all the little encouragement to grow this channel, and becoming a part of this community is very important. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Cosmic Sky Podcast. Goodbye.